Hey guys, how you going? Welcome to the Positive Experience podcast, where we look at the good, the bad and the ugly in living your best life. Today's segment is called In the Trenches, where we look behind the scenes at what's happening in the clinic. Hey guys, how you going? I'm Lecky.
And I'm Aarvi.
Welcome to the Positive Experience podcast. This segment is called In the Trenches, and so we're going to go through Aarvi's 5 W's, and the theme of the 5 W's is his university experience. So 5 W stands for where, who, what, why, and when. Okay, so Aarvi's under the microscope, bit of nerves. We're jumping back into the time machine, and Aarvi's going to tell us some stories on how he arrived to where he is today, but in the context of where he was in university. Okay, so first W is where. So paint the picture for us, Aarvi. Where were you living and where did you study?
Alright, so I was living just, in Tarneit at the time. So this was 2014, my first year of uni. So I went straight out of high school, finished in 2013 at high school, and then I jumped into uni straight away. And living down at Tarneit, so for people that are local, near the cop shop down near Derrickman Road and Sayers. It's called Reflections Boulevard, so that's where I was living at the time. And actually we're in part of making a move down to Truganina, where I live now. That was like halfway through the second year, but yeah.
That's where you were?
Yeah.
How about university? Where'd you study? Where'd you travel from A to B?
So I studied my whole degree at La Trobe University, my 2 degrees at La Trobe University, Bandura.
Okay, and how long was the commute? So from Truganina to Tarneit to Bandura, with traffic on the ring road?
So it depended on what time I had my classes. I try to really make it not peak time classes.
Okay.
So, because traffic's not too bad now if you go down the ring road, but pretty much I had the worst luck. When I started my degree, they started doing the roadworks.
Oh yeah.
So where they go from 4 lanes into 2, and legit there was always traffic down like that Sunshine Avenue under that bridge.
Yeah.
Imagine that ongoing for like 4 to 5 years. I had to continuously wait in that traffic every time, doesn't matter what time it was. So if I had a 9 a.m. class, it would take like an hour and a half, an hour and 40.
Yeah.
And then if it was like more of a 10 or a bit later, it'd take about just 40 minutes, 35 to 40.
Okay.
But then the other thing was peak time, plenty of road. So when you get on plenty of road, there was...
Get smashed again.
Yeah. That was banked, especially on the way back. That was probably the worst. Take forever to get off plenty, but yeah.
Okay, so where you were living, Tarneit, west side, Truganina, west side, had to travel north side to Bandura. We had to pull the violin out as you had to wait in traffic. And then we're going to move across now. So you finished year 12 in 2013.
Yep.
And year 1 at uni, Bandura, La Trobe was 2014. So give us an idea on 2014, Aarvi. Who were you following? What were your interests?
Okay.
Who?
2014, so who was I following? So I was big follower of Cristiano Ronaldo. So I was playing soccer at the time.
Yep.
Soccer was my main sport. That was the only sport I was really playing all the way through, because I didn't know touch rugby was quite big here, because I moved to Victoria from New South Wales, as if you would have seen my high school video.
Yeah, we'll link that.
So I was just following like Cristiano Ronaldo, like Messi, and then I was also getting into the gym scene.
Okay.
But I was more for soccer, and I wanted to get big at the same time because everyone else was big. But it's hard to do both unless you got great genetics. So gym-wise, I was following like Steve Cook. Pretty much Steve Cook, watching a lot of his YouTube videos and stuff like that.
Okay, cool. Was Ziz?
That was
earlier?
I still watched his, but that was a lot earlier.
Okay, cool. And who was? I think Ronaldo's with. Is he with Juventus now? Who was he with at the time?
So he would have been Real Madrid.
Real.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So 2014, Aarvi's a spring chicken at university. What were you doing? The third W is what? What were you doing to get some cash in while you're studying, or were you a full-time student? What were you doing with your time away from studying physio?
Okay, so I was playing soccer. So luckily I was getting a bit of coin playing soccer, which was good when I played seniors.
Which club?
Was that outside of Magic.
Magic, okay.
And then, so I was there for a few years. And then I was working, so I had a fair few jobs actually. So
yeah, mate, let us in. Top three comes to your mind.
At the start, so I was doing a lot of, at the start, I was doing like a bartending and working like events and stuff, like the Formula One and all that.
Magic Mike.
Like
Okay.
it was with Peter Rowland Catering, so
Oh yeah.
yeah. So I was doing a lot of that kind of stuff, just doing events, and then So I don't think I was doing. I think I was doing, also started up modelling as well. I think I was doing a bit of modelling.
Oh, you let the cat out the bag.
Don't really like to talk about that side, but yeah, I did that for my first year or so to get some money, and it was easy cash. You just pretty much have to pose for the camera, which is good, and do a couple of extras work at TV shows. So I was actually on Neighbours.
Yeah.
Just an extra, just some cash on the side.
Man, did not know that.
But yeah, so I was doing that, but I sort of stopped doing that because all my mates were giving me too much shit.
I can imagine.
So I was like, nah, I'll find a proper job. But it was good money to make. I highly recommend to get into it.
Yeah.
It's you can make some real good coin, and it's not that hard. And then went into retail after the catering stuff and worked at Crosshatch clothing shop.
Okay.
Worked at a couple of different locations.
Yep.
Up at South Wharf, that was probably the busiest. South Wharf DFO. Up at Northland shopping centre, and Harbour Town, did a couple of shifts there. And then after that, towards my end of my uni time, I worked at Telstra.
Okay.
And I was probably that was probably
most enjoyable spot?
Yeah, most enjoyable jobs, and I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Were you in the city or were you?
So I was down right in the city, Elizabeth Street.
No wonder you enjoyed it. Right in the amongst it all.
Yeah. Pretty much every night, every day after shifts, go for a few drinks.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the lifestyle. So that's the thing, uni students, generally, you're studying full-time and then you're working part-time, can sometimes almost full-time hours. A little story of woe there. Aarvi got through. So the fourth W is why. Let's go with why physio. So, you finished year 12, got the magic number, and you thought, okay, why physio?
So, why physio? So, I wasn't actually too sure if I was going to do physio. I wanted to go to the medical side.
Okay.
I was very similar to Lecky, but I was more gung-ho on physio. But speaking to my careers counsellor, he's like, if you can't really decide, do like a broad degree, like the health science. Mm-hmm. And that's what I did. So I didn't do physio straight up. So I did health science and then once I got into health science, I'm like, no, I'm going to do physio. And why? Why do I want to go down that pathway? I've played sports my whole life, and I should be wrapped in cotton wool, but I've had a lot of injuries. Uh-huh. And then I was seeing a lot of physios and osteos and stuff, and I think it just really struck out to me because I'm like, if I'm not going to make a sport, because at the time I realised I wasn't an elite athlete, so I'm like, getting too many injuries, I might as well rehab those kind of players and still be in that kind of field. Mm-hmm. And that's why I was went down physio. So I did 3 years of Bachelor of Health Science, and I had to major in physiology and anatomy.
Okay.
And then I transferred over to the Masters of Physiotherapy.
Okay.
And then, so that wasn't that easy. I had to do a fair bit of study towards the end of it to really get in, because it's quite competitive. Everyone wants to get into that. Mm-hmm. And then, as physio, it's competitive overall, but had to do a bit of study, but enjoyed my time.
How many years was that? So in total, 5. At Latrobe, 5 in total.
Years,
okay. Cool. So you kind of given us an insight into the last W, which is when. So the way I'd frame up this question is, when did you know that physio was going to be the pathway? So you had a couple of injuries, you knew you probably weren't going to get to the top level, with your career with football or soccer. Yep. So, when did you know? Was there a particular injury, or was there a particular person, or was there a time where you're like, okay, the light bulb switched on? When did you know?
It was always there from the start since I was young, not young, since I got my first injury really.
Okay.
I went and seen a physio, I'm like, that wouldn't be too bad, just rehabbing like sports. Because at that time I just only knew about sports physio and nothing else. And I'm like, I could do that, because if I don't get into sport, but I was always really busy just playing sports. And then as I was doing my health science, I'm like, I think I want to get into physio now, because didn't want to do med, because I'm like, I just don't want to do a lot more study, because med's a lot more. And I was like, nah, I'll just do physio and I'll enjoy it more, just more in the sports. Yeah. But I think once I was doing my placements in hospitals, because that's where most of my placements were, with physio, when I was in physio, I think I started to be like, I should have just done doctor. I want to become a doctor now. Yeah. So I'm still stuck in that mind, but I'm at the moment sticking with physio. Yeah.
Getting a lot clearer, and I think when you're early days into something new, you can always wonder what else is out there, and you're kind of, considering your options. But I think in the end, you just want to follow where your curiosity takes you, because that's what's going to make you happy. So, 2014 Aarvi versus 2020 Aarvi, quite a big difference there, I'm sure. So I guess this is our second installment of the 5Ws, where we had a snapshot on our high school experiences, and then now it's our 5Ws on the university. On the next one, who knows what the next theme of the 5Ws may be, but I think it's good to just reflect and, think about what you were in 2014 and what you are now. And if you look into the following 6 years, it would be 2026. You might look back to what you were thinking now and be like, man, what an idiot, or man, I should have done this, man, I should have done that, so
But
let's get to reflect.
to add on, I think university time, I do want to go back, it's probably the best time. You get so many holidays, you got university games, and a lot of just going out and partying, I suppose. There's a lot of good and bad, so yeah.
Yeah, it's like two sides of the coin.
Yeah.
Whereas like for me, I'm like, high school experience was great, I enjoyed the university experience. Now I'm out of uni, I'm like, man, glad out of uni. So I think it's a case-by-case scenario.
Definitely. Depends what you do.
Yeah. All right, Aarvi, thanks for your 5Ws. We'll let you guys know on the next installment of 5Ws of our Trenches episode. And thanks for tuning in to the Positive Experience Podcast. See you guys.